Hi everyone, my name is Ellie. My marketing myopia project is on Nokia. So to get started, Nokia is a Finnish multinational telecommunications, information technology, and consumer electronics company. As they are now, they serve communication service providers, governments, large enterprises, and consumers. They produce cell phones, network processors, routers, radio access units, and other components needed for the internet. Nokia was founded in 1865 as a pulp mill in Finland. In 1967, Nokia Corporation was created. It comprised of 4 units: forestry, cable, rubber, and electronics. And in 1970, they entered the networking and radio industry. It was at this point in time where they pretty much sold off all of their forestry, cable, and rubber units and primarily focused on networking, communications, and technology. In 1987, they launched their first handheld mobile phone. It was called the Myopia Cityman 900. It was big and bulky and expensive. It was primarily sold to wealthy urban professionals, and they marketed the phone with the slogan, "Everything is in your hands now. Connections, time, the freedom to move." In 1994, they launched their first GSM phone. As you can see, it's much smaller than the Myopia Cityman. It's more handheld. It actually has a digital display on it. This brought high-quality voice calls, international roaming, and it actually supported the very beginnings of text messages. In 1998, they became the world's largest mobile phone manufacturer, and then all the way up in 2007, the early part of 2007, they hit their peak. They controlled over 41% of the market. In late 2007, Apple unveiled the first iPhone. It completely took Nokia and other manufacturers by surprise. In 2008, Nokia still refused to jump on the touchscreen bandwagon. They waited a year before unveiling its first touchscreen phone after Apple unveiled its iPhone. In 2010, after several attempts to reclaim their reputation, Nokia's CEO released a memo which called for the company to take drastic action to change or die. They launched their iPhone killer, but it failed to match the competition. Essentially, they were using an operating system called Symbian. It just didn't live up to Apple's iOS and Android. In 2013, Nokia sells its device division to Microsoft. Their attempts to revive themselves came too late, and their market value declined 90%. So now, what is marketing myopia? The term was coined by Ted Levitt in the Harvard Business Review in 1960. He asked the famous question, "What business are you in?" The definition of marketing myopia is short-sighted and inward approach to marketing that focuses on the need of the firm instead of defining the firm and its products in terms of the customer needs and wants. Some of the causes of marketing myopia can be a narrow-minded approach to marketing. The company is product-oriented rather than customer-oriented. And the company thinking we are our own competitors, or customers will buy whatever we will sell them. The result of marketing myopia can ultimately be slow growth, market share loss, and may even lead to dissolution and even bankruptcy. Now, in my opinion, as many other researchers' opinions, the downfall of Nokia can primarily be attributed to marketing myopia. Nokia made the fatal error in assuming that they were in the communications business rather than in the technology business. They failed to acknowledge a shifting consumer demand, and they focused primarily on defending market share in its traditional voice model instead of embracing innovation. They fell prey to the shadow of obsolescence. They were overconfident with their products, and they also failed to acknowledge Apple, Samsung, and other companies as competitors. One of the quotes that I really like from Levitt is, "It is not surprising that, having created a successful company by making a superior product, management continues to be oriented toward the product rather than the people who consume it." In Nokia's case, they were thinking that they were in a growth industry rather than continuously capitalizing on growth opportunities. Another quote by Levitt that I like and I think pertains to Nokia's situation is, if thinking is an intellectual response to a problem, then the absence of a problem leads to the absence of thinking. Nokia invested so much time, money, and energy in what they were currently doing, which was, your traditional GSM phones. They weren't embracing technology, they weren't embracing touch screens or what the consumer wanted with social media and GPS and everything like that, that they failed to account for the future. Now, there are several things that Nokia could or should have done, all of which I think can directly relate to marketing myopia. Number one, they could have focused on customer needs rather than selling its products. It was about more than just buying a cell phone. Consumers wanted the newest, best technology to connect them with the world. They could have also acknowledged the change in consumer lifestyle. Number two, they should have broadened their approach to marketing in terms of both consumer orientation as well as embracing innovation. And number three, they should have reevaluated their values and strategy. They could have avoided the shadow of obsolescence by creating a long term strategy that accounted for competition, innovation, and technology. At the end of the day, if Nokia would have realized that it's not about selling things but satisfying customers, they just might have been able to recover.